now. So we have data representing the heights of eruptions by a geyser. Use the heights to construct a stem plot, sometimes also called the stem and leaf plot, and identify the two values that are closest to the middle when the data are sorted in order from lowest to highest. So we have our data here, and you can see we have 68, 80, 50, 58, 72, and so on. And what a stem and leaf plot does is it separates the tens place from the ones place. So you can see that our data here ranges from about, we'll say 34 all the way up to 90. So our tens places would be the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So I'm going to write 3, 4 representing 45, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that 3 represents 30s, okay? So then I'm going to go through and check off my numbers. So 68 would be, instead of 68, we're going to separate it as 60 plus 8. So we would have 68 right here. The next number is 80. So we would write 8, 80, which would be like 80 plus 0. So I'm going to put 8, 0 here. And then we'll have 50, 58, 72, 34, 50, 69, 60, 70, 50, 40, 79, 69, 47, 90 would be 90, 70, 57, 60, and 88. You can see I have a stem plot here, but the digits aren't in order. So what you're going to do now that you have that is look below at the answer choices, and it looks like you correctly chose part C, which is all the same work that I have here, but now it's written in increasing order on the right side. And typically we would write all of the digits on the right representing the ones digit as increasing order. So when I'm looking at this plot, my numbers are written in increasing order, which is something that is going to be an advantage of a stem and leaf plot. So I see I have 3, 4. That represents the number 34. Then I have 40 and 47. And then I have 50, 50, 50, 57, and then 58. That's what I get from the third line, the second line, and the first line. And let me write out the rest of them for you. Here you can see all the numbers from the stem and leaf plot written out in order. And there are 20 numbers when you count them through. So if I were to line all these numbers up, which I kind of have them in order right here, I'd be looking for the middle number. Since there's an even amount, there is no exact middle number, because if I take 20 and I divide it by 2, I'm going to have 2 groups of 10. So 10 before the middle and 10 after the middle. So leading up in the next chapter, we're going to talk about something called the median, and that would be the middle number of a data set when it's listed in increasing order. If you have an even amount of items in your data set, what you do is you take the 2 middle numbers and you'll end up averaging them. They're not asking us to find that median, just the 2 middle numbers right now. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I were to count back from the top, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 2 middle numbers of this data set, the 2 middle numbers are 60 and 68. Remember, when you are looking at a stem and leaf plot, your final stem and leaf plot will always be ordered in increasing order, like we have in C here. The one I drew above is just showing my work, and then the final step would be to put them in order as you have in your final answer for part C. And then when you're looking at a stem and leaf plot, the left side represents your tens digit and the right side represents your ones digit, giving us numbers like 34 or 68 that we have here. The circled numbers represent 68 in that row. This represents 34. So to find the middle numbers, you figure out how many numbers are in your data set. And basically, you can count in to see what the middle is. If you have a large data number, you can see here to find the middle. I said 20, and I divided it by 2 because the middle, that would be halves. And then I counted in by 10 to get my first middle. Now, if I had an odd number of data, like 23, and I took that and divided it by 2, I would get 11 and a half. If you get an odd number like that, the middle of your data is going to be round up to the next whole number. So 12 would be the middle, which makes sense because I would have 11 numbers on either side and just the 1 in the middle. That would be the middle of my data set, which we're going to learn next week is called the median. I hope you find this helpful. Reach out if you have any more questions.